A few weeks ago, I did a video about my goal for 2025 to clear the top shelf of a bookshelf in my bedroom. And now I thought I would go through some of my other goals for the year. Now in 2024, I had a goal to complete a bingo board, for lack of a better term. It's basically just 25 prompts that I wanted to find a way to read through. And considering I read 62 books last year with a goal of reading 52 books, it was pretty ambitious to do 25 prompts and expect to hit them. And I didn't make it, but I did get 20, so that was pretty reasonable. Even though I did not hit that goal, and I've already set a really crazy goal of reading the 52 books on that top shelf, I did decide to do 25 prompts again. So I thought for today's video, I would walk through what those 25 prompts are this year and let you take a look at how I'm tracking them. So this is my reading journal, and it was for all of 2024 as well. And you can see I still have quite a few pages left in it, so I'm sure it will see me through 2025 before I have to replace it. So I have my standard shelf set up, and then I get into, this is just a tracker for the dates I finish books, months across the top, etc. But here is where the challenges begin. So here is my bingo. And some of these are prompts left over from last year. And I decided to carry them across. And you can see I have actually, the ones that I missed were these first 5. And I've already completed 2 of them, primarily because I had the books pulled out on my TBR. And so I've gotten to them at this point. And then just by the luck of the draw, which is the way that I did this last year, so maybe you need to take a look at it, but I really just let the books go holistically, what I was picking up month by month. And if by chance it met one of the prompts, I was able to mark it off. And then I waited really late. I waited until November to sit down and consciously focus on, okay, what do I have left, and pulling books to fulfill those prompts. I think I better take a look at it at mid-year this year to start really focusing on it. So to read a book set in Canada, which I accomplished in January already by finishing The Cruelest Month by Louise Penny. Read a book set in the 1920s, a locked room mystery, which I completed this month in February with Tom Mead's Death and the Conjurer. And then ironically, that was not the book that I pulled to complete this prompt. It just happened to be one that I started listening to on Audible, and it meets the prompt. But I actually am currently reading an anthology, Golden Age Locked Room Mysteries, edited by Otto Penzler, which was the book that I pulled to fulfill this prompt. So I'm actually getting 2 done early in the year this year for that. A book set in Ireland, which is unusual for me. I do read a lot of Irish settings and Irish authors, and I did not read one last year. I read multiple Scotlands, and I've already hit Scotland with Her Royal Spiness, which starts in Scotland. And then again, the series that I really wanted to focus on last year, and I did not even read a single book, was the Vera Stanhope series, which I moved over and I again want to start this year. So I will knock this one off even if I just read one of these books. But the next prompt is to finish a series. And I've been doing pretty good with that. I think there are quite a few shorter series where you can knock this one off by finishing 2 books, so I'm not too concerned about it. Classics, I did not read a classic last year, which made me decide to put it on this year's prompts. I generally always read 2 to 4 classics per year, and I just did not focus on it last year. So wanted to get back to that this year. Clear shelf of oldest books in bedroom. So this is my top shelf challenge. I figured that when I was making this, I thought, oh, if I accomplish that, I get to mark it off here. And then I thought, how stupid for me to, it's almost like double challenge putting it here. Like, I should have just tracked it separately. And then A to Z challenge, which is what you see on this page. I'm trying to read a book by an author whose name covers the alphabet, and I'm doing it by author, not by book title, because it can be really hard to find a title that begins with Z or X. So I'm doing it by author name. And so far, I'm 6, so only 20 left to go here. My numeric goal this year, it was 52 last year, which I hit by reading 62. So this year I upped it to 57, really trying to be rational, even though this is 52 books and this is 26 books. I guess I want to be an overachiever if I hit 57 and go on to do the others. So one of the other countries, this is generally, I think I did Greece last year. So this is a revolving door country kind of a thing. So this year I decided to do France. And then occupations, I have teacher, and then skipping ahead, I have librarian, which are pretty safe bets for me to read a book with a teacher or a librarian in it. A book set in the Victorian era, but I also have a Victorian novel, which could potentially also check classic off, but may not if I get to this first. Golden Age, which, hey, the book I'm reading, Golden Age Locked Room Mysteries, will check this one off. And then to do a buddy read, I'd like to do a buddy read with Ariana this year, so I put it on my goals. And then an animal detective. It seems like I used to read more books when I was being really, really focused on only reading mysteries. I always had an animal detective. And so this is almost a reminder that this year I want to stay really focused in the genre that I most enjoy. However, I get the Once Upon a Book Club book boxes, and I really have a lot of them that I have not read. And so I would like to read at least 12 of them this year, since they come every month. And that does not get me caught up, but at least it doesn't get me any further behind. A ghost story, which is usually pretty easy for me to do because I always read a ghost story in the fall. Mountains and forest setting. I did this one because those are creepy books to me, which is ironic because I live in the mountains, but from an atmospheric perspective, I really like things that are set in like dark, snowy cabin, creepy, suspenseful kind of a thing. A book set in the 1940s, so I had 1920s up here, 1940s. The Golden Age, Locked Room Mysteries, will also check this off. There are quite a few stories in there that were published in the 40s, so I'm going to count them as set in the 40s then. Dark Academia, I'm currently reading Curious Tides, which is a dark academia book, so that will get checked off. And then a treasure hunt. And this one may be hard. When I think about the movies that I most enjoy watching, it's things like National Treasure. And so I thought, why not read a treasure hunt book? And then I realized that I did read one last year. I think it was last year. It could have been 2023. The Recovery Agent by Janet Ivanovich, was a treasure kind of a book. So that is my prompts for 2025. So that's it. And I guess I'm doing okay. The Top Shelf Challenge is another story. So that one in and of itself being on the board could be a bad decision. But it is what it is at this point in the middle of February. So that's it for today. Tell your pets I said hi, and I'll see you next time.